Hi there, welcome back. So straight into the project today. This follows on really from our one last week. So if you haven't seen the one from last week, why not check out our playlist? This is another little beautiful piece of thrifted wooden furniture. It's not an antique. It's solid in construction, but in order to be able to paint it, which is what we've got planned for this, we do need to take it apart. So Wayne is doing the project today. So he's just looking at everything, how it's been put together, and some rather sharp chisels there, as you can see on the right hand side. And all he's doing is he's taking the chisel, the sharp end, just trying to pry open where the back piece of this furniture, which I think is a letter organiser, correspondence letter organiser. He's just prizing it away. As you can see, it comes away really easily. There were no little panel pins or nails holding this together. So it did really need to be just made a bit more secure. Can you see there? It came away rather easy. Now he did this to all the other pieces, so he took the back off, the front, the sides and the insert there. All exactly the same method. Now I will say, wherever possible in this video, we will link in the description box the products we've used. The only things that we can't link in this particular case is going to be the piece of little wooden piece of furniture, the letter organizer and the chisels. I mean, but you know, go to your local thrift shops, charity shops, have a good look around, or if you're clever enough, why not have a go at making one from scratch? Now, the other thing we found, or Wayne found, was that there was then a residue of glue, old glue that had been used originally to put it together, that needed to be removed. So he is using a much smaller width of chisel and he's just running it up the groove there. This is where the slots fit in, the little inserts. Just careful. Be careful, obviously, whenever you're using tools, particularly sharp tools or anything that's electric powered. We don't want people hurting themselves. So follow all health and safety standards, precautions, manufacturer's guidelines and so on. But as you can see there, he has got rid of the residue of glue that was left behind from when it was first assembled. There we are. Look at that. So, and as I said before, or I may have said before, parts of this video will have been sped up due to repetition, and we don't want you getting too bored and obviously switching off. If you've joined us in the live chat today for the premiere of this video, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying this. Have you checked out our previous video from last week? Why not? It's a similar theme of upcycling, you know, some furniture, a little piece of accessory and so on. Now Wayne's going to use an electric sander here. I think he showed a 40 grit piece of sandpaper. This is an electric sander. If you don't have an electric one, you can just use a sanding block or a piece of sanding paper. And obviously it's going to take a bit longer if you sand by hand rather than using an electric sander. But the purpose of doing this was just to take off that old varnish that was on there. Get it back down to the bare wood so we know what we're working with. Obviously you don't have to do that. There are paints out there that you can get where you can just paint straight over onto the surface of the wood without having to prime it and sand it first. But this is the option that we've chosen for today's video. There we go. Obviously repeat this process with the other pieces and then make sure that you do wipe them all down so they're free of any sawdust. And then the next thing to do after that is just to check to see if there's anything that you need to fill in, any imperfections. Now, we've jumped ahead a bit here, apologies. We're using the Lick, it's made by a company called Lick Supreme range of paint. We got this from our local B&Q, which is like a big box depot DIY place over here in the UK. It is colour Green 01. Beautiful colour. This is the first coat going on, just using a regular brush and applying the paint to it. Now it dries very quickly because it does soak partially into the wood. He then applies a second coat and you'll see the change in colour. Can you see that? It does dry slightly darker like a lot of paints do, but this is the same paint that we used for the key box cupboard which of course, as I've said before, is in our previous video. There we go. So just lots of long straight strokes, trying to blend the paint so you don't get too many paint strokes left behind for when it dries. Don't be tempted to put it on really thickly, because obviously it will dry unevenly and then you'll find yourself having to sand it back down again. There we go. So almost done with that piece. Obviously you need to repeat this with all the other pieces of this lovely little puzzle that we've got here. There we go. Now the other thing to say is let it dry. He's marked out using a ruler and a pencil exactly where he needs to put some panel pins. He's just going to show you this. Sorry, it's slightly out of camera there. Just marking up the center section of that groove there. Yep, sorry, slightly out of camera again there. And then using this. Now I think this is called a slide rule, but I'm not sure. Please forgive me if it's not. And he's just measuring up his two markings there and then just drawing a straight line with the pencil straight along. And that's his guide there for where he needs to put some panel pins. So Wayne decided he wasn't just going to rely on wood glue, although wood glue is absolutely fine. He's just showing you these panel pins. They've almost got no head on them at all. There we are. We did use some rather famous branded Gorilla Glue, not sponsored at all by the way in this video, but just lining them up and then just giving them a good old tap. Didn't tap them all the way through, obviously, because you do need them to go into the other piece of wood that you're going to join this to. So just putting them about 50% of the way through till they just poke through the other side of the wood. There we go. And then did that again with another two of these. I'm not going to show you all of this. You don't need to see all of that. Careful when you're using hammers, as I've said before, any kind of tools, DIY tools, whether they're hand tools or electrical tools, that you know, you don't hurt yourself. Very easy. If you've hit yourself with a hammer on the fingernail, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there we go. It's just lining up the third one, giving it a tap, and can you see they're all there in the line? Next thing to do is just to apply some of the wood glue. Now this particular wood glue comes with a very handy attachment on the top of it, so you just squeeze some wood glue into there. You don't need to put ever such a lot. If you've got a little spatula, you can spread it in, or a brush to spread it in if you wish. We're just putting the this part now, just slotting it in there. You may see a little bit of glue squidge out there. I love the word squidge. Which obviously you clean up afterwards. Now, going to tap those panel pins back in, as I said, sped up a bit this bit. Just tap, 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 making sure that they go in nice and firmly there. There we go. And then just cleaning up the little excess pieces of little bits of glue. Repeat the process with the other side and also with the inserts as well. Just again here, see, just about to measure up where he's going to put the panel pins. Tap, tap, tap. There we are. 1 and 2. And then the third one going in there. Obviously make sure you get them as straight as possible. It's a good idea. In with the wood glue. And then we're just going to pop it on there. Apologies for some of the camera views, shots of this. Can be quite difficult to film it, and of course show you what's going on without showing you just lots of camera view of our hands. So now needs to put the two inserts in. Now didn't do panel pins with these, just used the wood glue. There we go. 1 and 2. There we are, and then gets the inserts and slots them in one at a time. Obviously make sure you get them in the right way round. Don't put them in back to front or in the wrong order, because otherwise that's going to look a little bit odd. They should just fit straight back in. There we are. Sometimes need a wee bit of support, applying glue to the outside parts there and the bottom piece there. and then applying the side piece, and then just tapping those panel pins in. And then you'll see, move on to the next bit, which is to secure the back of the piece of this lovely letter organizer or correspondence organizer with some panel pins. Again, he measured up and he's drawn a very fine pencil line there, just making sure he makes the adjustments he needs to, and then just tapping in the panel pins all the way through. Oh, just a little bit of persuasion there with a hammer, and then just tapping them in. There we go. There is a little bit of a gap, but that's absolutely fine. Obviously, if you're not happy seeing any little gaps, you can just go back with some wood filler and fill them in. That's absolutely fine if you want to do that. Obviously, don't forget to then sand it down. You will then have to touch it up with the paint as well. There we go. So obviously leave that now to dry overnight. Now Wayne is going back with a centre punch. I believe that's called a centre or hole punch. And just tapping those panel pins just down further, just down below the surface of the top of the wood. And the reason for that is because he wants to hide them, and he's going to use some wood filler just over the tops of them to hide them, and then give it all just one last coat of paint. Here you can see it. We've got a little cracks that have formed. Unfortunately, that can sometimes happen. Just covering those over with a bit of regular wood filler. As I said, wherever possible, we will link in the description box the items that we've used in the video. Hopefully you're all still watching and haven't got too bored and switched off by now. Obviously, if you don't wish to see these processes, you can just jump ahead a bit. But there we go. This is it, all assembled back together. You can see where he's used the wood filler. He did go down and re-sand it all over those where he's used the wood filler, and then went back in and painted over those sections. Now moving on, following in the theme of last week's beautiful cupboard that used to be a key box cupboard, we think he is repeating the design of using vintage style floral furniture transfers. He decided what he wants to put where, peeled off the white paper backing, which leaves a very, very sticky surface, applied it down to the wooden surface, and is using the tool that comes with the transfer stickers to apply pressure, and then very carefully peeling back the top layer, which reveals the transfer in situ. Now, you may find that you have to do what Wayne is having to do, which is, as you gently peel it, to just reapply a bit more pressure again. Sped this bit of the video up because he took his time doing this. Do take your time doing it, just to make sure that all of the design stays on the piece of furniture or whatever you're decorating and doesn't come back up in the sticky bit of the top film there. You see the way that's just pulling away, leaving those beautiful roses and all the foliage in place. There we go. Almost done for the big reveal of these beautiful roses. Of course, there are so many different transfers that you can buy, so many different designs. You don't have to stick with a floral. You could go all botanical. You could have birds. You could have butterflies. Really, it's an endless choice here. There we go. Obviously as well, you could have just given this piece, correspondence or letter organizer, just a quick sand down, coat it with just some clear varnish, and then put these on and finished it like that. Gives a different effect. There's lots of different things that you can do. So just to show you, he's done the same thing on the sides of this, but used 3 different sections of transfer. So we have left this one in so you can see what happens, measured out what he wanted where, and then laid them down piece at a time, applied the pressure using the tool, and then peeled it back to reveal the design. So here we go. It's beautiful. I think it's supposed to be like a branch or a twig from, well, a branch, not a twig, from like a rose bush with the foliage. It looks absolutely beautiful. Just applying pressure again, back with that tool. There we go, all the way down. So that's the first bit. Now he goes back and just checks again with the design where that single leaf needs to go. Peels off the white backing paper. Just checking again, there we go. And then sticking it, applying the pressure using that yellow tool. And then pulling back, there we go. And then finally the rose, the last piece, just to pop down there. There we are. Smoothing it down with the tool again, and then repeated the process with this beautiful, I think this might be my favourite one. Really gorgeous rose with some rose buds and some leaves. Now, he did that. We didn't leave that bit in because obviously you've already seen the process twice. He's now decided to use some of this rub and buff, and I have to say, we're novices. As you can see, slight error there. Slight error. This Wayne's first ever time using this, and he has discovered what I have in that, oh my gosh, it comes out a bit quick. It's very permanent, but what he's using here, this is the silver leaf. He's using it almost like a shadow to do like shading on the wood and the rose, the beautiful floral design, and then rubbing over with just some kitchen towel. He then takes it back outside, which you'll see in a moment or two, to apply 2 coats of polyurethane varnish. But look at that piece with the butterflies. It's just stunning and really ties in well with the previous project that we did. Here we are, just applying spray varnish to the finished piece. I do just quickly go with some buff titanium or buff titanium white paint just to blend it in a bit more, which you won't see, but it is in our previous week's video. So just the final things to say now whilst you're looking at the final beauty shot, and that is thanks for watching, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and we'll see you again next Sunday with another video. Take care.